Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Bear. Happy, Wednesday? Yeah, we're on Wednesday, aren't we? I am down here in an overcast Laredo, Texas today. Waiting to get unloaded, and then I got to reload out of here and head her back up north. Deliver, Friday morning, I believe, in Sioux City, Iowa. So, anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit today about construction season. We are in full bloom of those beautiful orange barrels and pylons, right? So, I talk a little bit about something that happened yesterday. That's what prompted this video, and that is some clown pulling a Target trailer, which I fucking hate Target anyway. I think they're a woke company and I won't do business there, but that's neither here nor there. But this clown pulling, he wasn't your usual Ruan, that's or somebody like that that's pulling him. He was, I don't know, it's just a white piece of shit truck. And anyway, he came up and he was literally over the zipper line in a construction zone with concrete barriers on each side. And I would bet you I wasn't an inch and a half, 2 inches from the concrete, just trying not to get hit when he come blasting down through there. And the speed limit, this was in Texas, and the speed limit was 65, which I was doing, and I really don't get too carried away, not from the ticket aspect, which would be bad enough, but there's a lot of things that can happen in construction zones. Okay, if you use heavy grease in your trailers, if you have a wheel seal that decides to blow and you don't know it because you're driving down the road and it seizes up on you and you end up losing a set of duals on there in the middle of a construction zone, that would be bad. If you blow a steer tire, a lot of us don't stop. We'll drive 4 to 6 hours. And especially going through construction zones, it's not uncommon to pick up a piece of steel or something in one of your tires. If that tire happens to be your steer tire and you don't realize it, and that thing starts going down fast, and you end up blowing a tire in there, again, you don't want to be going too fast. It's you can regain control of a truck after blowing a steer, but you will have your arms full of steering wheel doing it. But there's a lot, like I say, there's a lot of things that can happen. I actually, and this is something I've always thought of, and it's basically a human compassion thing, and that is your speed when you're going past workers. If the workers aren't right next to where you're driving, okay, you can go ahead and do the posted speed limit. But I always go a little bit slower when they're right next to where I'm driving, from the standpoint of how would I feel, even with a car, much less an 80,000 pound vehicle. How would I feel if I was one of those construction workers and having an 80,000 pound vehicle buzzing past me at 65 miles an hour? That would be freaking terrifying, That would literally, I'd be back on the bottle. So yeah, I try to take it easy. Maybe even go 5 to 10 miles an hour slower if they're right next to where I'm driving. Just out of courtesy for them, because it would be scary. And I know some of you are saying, well, that's why they get the big bucks. Yeah, they get paid well. Road construction pays pretty well, but they only work, for a few months out of the year. And like I say, they get paid well, but that doesn't mean they need to live in terror because nobody will give them an inch. We need to give them an inch, and we are allegedly professional drivers, so act accordingly. And folks, it's like I always say, you know, I am a big proponent of not making a bunch of extra laws for stuff. And all the states and all the cities and all the counties in the country have made laws against texting and driving. But I still see both cars and trucks texting and driving. And it's not a deal where, you know, and I'm not condoning it, but it's not a deal where they're like just looking down and give a quick glance, you know, because somebody just sent them a message, you know. It's guys that put it right up to their nose, you know, right here, and they're reading it going down the goddamn road. And it's, or better yet, I saw one of those little Sprinter vans yesterday, you know. For all you people that ship with those Sprinter vans, you should probably pay attention, because you're probably going to end up in a ditch eventually. But while passing me, a semi, and almost hit me, by the way, swerved over toward me, but sitting there with both hands, steering with his legs, and doing the old thumb shuffle on his phone's keyboard, sending texts. And it's like, what in the hell is wrong with you people? Some of these people out here shouldn't be chewing gum and walking at the same time, much less driving and texting. Quit texting and driving, especially if you're near someone. It's the new form of communication, I get that. But driving is not when you should be doing it. You are endangering other people, especially if they are right next to you. And these goddamn truck drivers that are doing it, they know better. You're passing them, or they're passing you, and they're sitting there on the goddamn phone texting, you know. And it's like, and of course now I've seen electronic signs, you know, that say don't talk, don't text, you know, or you'll crash, you know. And it's like, okay, the texting, yes, but I'm sorry, we've been talking on the CB forever, you know, and we all use headsets now, or the vast majority of truck drivers are now using headsets, you know, for talking on the phone. So I'm not really concerned with that. But the texting, again, you're allegedly professional drivers. Set an example for the four-wheelers. Set an example. You should not be texting and driving, plain and simple. So anyway, but yes, the construction zones, and yes, I've seen them do it in the construction zones too, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it. Just stop it. You're gonna kill somebody. You know, it's not if, it's when. It's going to happen. And we can't. One life is too much. That's too many. You know? We're not out here to kill people. We're out here to pick up and deliver freight. Do it like you know what the fuck you're doing, or get off the road. If you want to text all day, go get a desk job somewhere and waste some employer's money that way. Not while you're going down the road. You know? You get a 30-minute break every day. We're required, remember? Use that to text them, okay? Or just give them a call. You know, we're missing human interaction. It's almost gone by the wayside. So give them a call. Reach out and touch someone, as Ma Bell used to say. All right, everybody, I'm off my soapbox for now. Be safe out there. Quit texting. Slow down in the construction zones and pay attention to what you're doing, and give them a break. That's actually a slogan somewhere. I remember some construction signs saying that. Give them a break. I agree. Give them a break. Don't scare the shit out of the construction workers. Otherwise, we won't have any of them to fix our roads, will we? Because they'll be too goddamn rattled by you dumbasses blasting past them. Be safe out there, everybody. Don't forget to like and share this with all your friends, and subscribe. Talk to you later.